our second speaker, we have the visionary Mr. Anton Soeharyo, who is the co-founder and CEO of Touch10. Mr. Anton co-founded Touch10 with his brother and cousin while they were still studying abroad in 3 different continents: Asia, America, and Australia. Having educated in Japan, Mr. Anton returned to Indonesia with a vision to change the local gaming industry. In this session, the maker of the 2.7 million downloads of Sushi Chain will share what he has learned from his lucky adventure and also tells us how he achieved 1 million downloads without any marketing budget. Let's invite Mr. Anton Soeharyo to the stage.
Hello. I didn't expect to be on the stage and in front of so many people. I thought it's only 20 people or something. So I'm very nervous, so please bear with me. Did you see my photo in the pamphlet? You must be thinking it's a lie, right? So I look different after so many years of good food. But that's me, and yeah, it's not Photoshop, okay? So I'm very happy to be here. Today I'm going to share with you my so-called adventure of getting into the 1 million download club, something like that. First of all, let me introduce the founders. Again, I look sleepy here. Is it here? Okay. Wait. So I founded Touch10 with my brother, who is there, Rocky, and with my cousin, Dede. He's the second child, so he's called Dede. Yeah. Okay, we started this in 2009, and we produced 12 game titles, mainly in the iOS. And in 2011, August, we have a funding, our first round of funding, Series A funding from the good people of IdeoSource. Now, have any of you played this game before? 1, 2? Okay, I'll go home now. Only 2, come on, man. So, Sushi Chain is a time management game. It's based on, if you see the guy there, he's ordering some sushi, and we have to open the recipe and then memorize the ingredients and then put it on the mat, tap it, and it will serve to the guy. So that's basically what Sushi Chain is. Before I go further, how many of you here are gamers? Wow, okay, good. And nobody knows Sushi Chain? How many of you are game developers? Okay, good. And nobody knows Sushi Chain? Okay. Anyway, in 2010, we have achieved 30,000 downloads a week. I was supposed to make this with Keynote, so there's like this Steve Jobs kind of boom. But because I converted to PowerPoint, it became like this. So we achieved, in 1 year, we achieved 1.6 million downloads. And if you can see there, it's about 30,000 downloads a week. And this is a year in the graph. So I pulled down data from the app stores using app figures. And this is the data from this is for only 2010. And if you can see the spikes over there, I highlighted it. We received 164,000 dollars in 1 week. Can anybody tell me why? Looking at the data? Why? It's July. Pardon? Light version, close. It's because July is the school holiday. So lots of kids, you know. And then if you can see there, November, December, also there's a spike. Because all over Asia, the parents give iPod Touch to the little kids. And they're like, hey, I want to play Sushi Chain. And which none of you did, so. So sorry to hear that. Well, what I'm trying to do here is actually, you have, in a game company, what I do is analyze this kind of thing, like why is this like this, why there's a spike, why no other, why you guys don't play Sushi Chain, and stuff like that. I'm still very sad, nobody plays Sushi Chain. Aye. And here's the market share. If you can see here, I don't know if it's visible, but number one download for iOS still comes from the United States. We receive about 1.1 million downloads alone from the United States. But if you analyze these figures, you can see that the Asian countries are rising too. So we have Singapore next, Hong Kong, and then Thailand, Australia, which is, some people may say, part of Asia. Well, it's not. And then you have United Kingdom, and then Indonesia, we have 12,000 downloads a year. So none of you are here. None of you. So sorry. Now, we really have no money back then. I was just a college kid, and I have to pay my rent in Japan, which is very high. So I don't have any marketing budget. Everything I earn, I put it to my stomach. So I don't spend any marketing budget, and some might call us lucky because at that time there's not much competition still in the iOS market. So, but with this so-called luck, I try to analyze what happened. Why do we get so many downloads? Why do we get top rank in the iOS store and stuff like that? So I will give you 5 tips, 5 bonus tips today, 5 tips. And so the first one is do your market research. A lot of people are frowning and say, oh, there's too many apps in the App Store. There's 500,000 apps. I'm not going to be one of them. I'm not going to be the top grossing one. I'm just going to die, oh, blah, blah, blah. And well, with so many competitors, my positive advice is that you are able to analyze, right? So this is, I think I took this last year in the top overall free game ranking in US. Now, another question. What do you notice by looking through this ranking? Free, yeah, thank you, Mr. Obvious. What else? What else do you notice from these games? Violence, sex, and sports. So, make a violent game, make a sex game. No, just joking. But anyway, these kind of things are the one that I analyze. So if you look at the App Store ranking, most of them have something to do with violent. Angry Birds is violent. You know that, right? That poor pig, right? It's just standing there, and then there's this Angry Birds getting thrown at them. So it's basically violent. And then, of course, the sports game. If there's an NFL season, there's a MLB, Major League Baseball, and then the apps will go up. And well, I don't recommend the sex part, but if you have some sexy titles, I think you will get a lot of downloads. So now that's one. Know your enemy. With so many apps in the App Store, you can make that as your advantage. The second advice, is your App Store ready, right? With so many apps, you will just be one of them, but it's only words, right? Wording. Now, I know a lot of my fellow developers in Indonesia. They are so excited about the game, and I actually know one game which is quite good, and it's called Misteri Hantu Pocong, right? And do you think people in the United States will want to search pocong? No, right? So my advice is that, by the way, for those who don't know, pocong is just a ghost. It's a I don't know what it is. But what I was trying to say is that my title is in English, and it's easy to remember. And then because of that, if you search now in any app store in the world, if you search sushi, then our sushi chain will be number 1, or if not number 2. So the wording, please do not make like warung something or something, because nobody knows what warung is except for us. The second is, again, try to localize. I was lucky that I live in Japan, so I know their kind of, what is popular among them. In Shibuya, in the Shibuya station, there's a famous spot. It's called the Hachiko Corner. So, Hachiko is very famous among Japanese. So I started a game based on that. Not based on that, but the name is very familiar to the local people. So as you know, US is the number one in the app, number one revenue generator. Second is Japan. So I try to enter that market, something like that. So for example, ping pong, in Japan they call it takyu. So maybe if you could change your title to takyu, maybe people will search it and they will find your app. Something like that. That's some of the tips. Now, is your app store ready? Again, the icons and graphic. You made a beautiful game, 3D, blah, 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 but the icon is like, what? WT something. And then I took this advice from some guy, is that, try to avoid text. The icon is already so small, try not to use text, try to use like graphics. For example, one of our game, at first, this is our game, Free Kick Mania. We just put something like that. But then we decided to change it like this. So basically, you can download it also in the App Store. It's a game where you can you play as a kicker, free kick, and if you have so many goals, you can exchange that goal. You can summon a T-Rex and eat the goalkeeper. You can summon a UFO and kidnap the goalkeeper. So I try to put that in the icon. So people is like, what? Why is a goalkeeper? Why is a soccer ball doing with a T-Rex? And people want to click it, And because of that, we receive like 10 times more downloads than before, just because of that update, icon update. So try to put in effort in that. Again, icons and graphic. The graphic, right? So this was one of a good game, but the developer just decided to put a screenshot there. And it's not appealing. People go click your icon out of that 500,000 app and look at your description, and then they look, it's made by a kid, something like that. So people have no interest in that. So they put in the effort. They put in the effort to search for you. Why don't you, right? So actually he changed it to this, and I heard his download also increase. Actually, I want to show you some graphic that we made of our screenshot. No, graphic yang. Yeah. Sorry about that. I still don't believe you guys don't know Sushi Chain. Man. Okay. Mama ya. Sorry about this. Now, this is our game that we just launched yesterday. Actually, the one who made the screenshot is there. His name is Nil Wafa. Can you please stand up? Give him a round of applause. Well, this game is a airplane 3D shooting game. We put in effort in like showing the gameplay, make a quick description of what it is, trying to sell to the audience, give them a preview of what they're buying, and then give some fanciful, characters, which I think Faunia Rancher did a great job, something like that. So, yeah, back to my presentation. Yeah, so, and then the launch date. I think most app developer might know or do not know this, that you can actually set your date to the future date. You can set it to 2020 or something, 2014 or something, or 2013. what it will do is actually, you know, the approval process takes 7 to 14 days, right? But then if you put it the date tomorrow or something, and then 7 days later when they approve it, it will automatically be in the data system, database, and you cannot change it. And then your app will not be in the new release section. That alone is already a mistake by itself. So try to set a date way beyond your release target. For example, you want to release next week, put it like 3 more months or something. Then you can change it back later on at your will. Okay, cross promotion. I think this is very important. Once you have a good app or a good game with a decent amount of download, you know, try to promote your other games. You know, don't make it anak tiri. You know, like this one is good, this one is not good. So what I try to do is always try to promote my other games inside of my game that is doing well. Okay, and this is, you know, I live in Japan. I like food. I like soccer, and I like beautiful women. Yeah. So this is promotion the right way. There is an app in Japan. It's called Bijin Appli. All it do is just beautiful pictures of beautiful women holding some app that you can click on it, and this is doing well in Japan. So put something aesthetic such as this, right? Such as this here. Who here doesn't like beautiful women? See, nobody. Now, I said 5. I give you a bonus. Do I still have time? Do I still have time? I think I'm babbling too fast. Oh, 5 minutes, nice. Okay, the 5th tips is user retention. This is what we are doing in our company. Analytics, analytics, analytics. Now, do you know what Dau, Wau, and Mau is? Dau, Wau, Mau. Dau, Wau, Mau. That's nice. It's actually daily active users, weekly active users, monthly active users. Sorry for those of you who knows. So this is what we check every day. We want to know how many people, after a certain period of time, let's say X amount of days, how many of them are still playing our game? And then if not, why? You know, there's a lot of analytic tools like Flurry.com. You can use, it's free. So without this, I think you will, you know, your game will never be in the top ranking if you don't do your research and analytics. And then lastly is like give what the player wants, right? Because they are essentially your customer. They either play, take the effort to download it, even if it's free. They take the time to play. If you don't give what the players want, then you know you will never get that powerful marketing tools called word of mouth, right? Now, lastly, I also want to announce the launch of our game just now with a really short video trailer. The game is called Infinite Sky. We made this with Unity 3D. It's now live in your iPhone and iPad. No, not the iPad, but you can play it on iPad too. I think, yeah, that's our game. You can download it for free now, and you can try it. Oh, nice. I think mine is better. Thank you. Well, thank you for your time.